guys, welcome to my kitchen and welcome to my home. Today I have a special guest here, my little nephew visiting me today, and together we're going to make
a chocolate cupcake.
That's right, we're going to make a chocolate cupcake. This cupcake is so chocolatey and rich in taste, and yet it's very moist and fluffy. It's really good and very easy to make. And also I'm going to make the chocolate buttercream that goes on top of the cupcake to make it the perfect chocolate cupcake. So let's get started. The ingredients you need to make these cupcakes are some sugar, some flour, some cocoa powder, some baking powder, some salt, some instant coffee, butter, eggs, a little bit of water, and some vanilla extract. The ingredients you need to make the chocolate buttercream frosting are some powdered sugar, some cocoa powder, some butter, some vanilla, and a little bit of milk. The first thing to do is to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. And then you're going to mix your dry ingredients together. So in a medium bowl, add the flour, the cocoa powder, the baking powder, and the salt, and whisk them thoroughly until all of them are incorporated. And set them aside. And now you're going to start by creaming your butter in a large bowl using your hand mixer or a standing mixer like I am here. Your butter has to be at room temperature, it has to be soft. So you're going to start by creaming it for about 1 minute on low speed. And then you're going to add your sugar and mix for about 3 or 4 minutes on medium speed until the sugar has dissolved into the butter and it's fluffy. Halfway through, just scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl to make sure all the sugar is well incorporated into the butter. And then you're going to start adding your eggs one by one. And mix on medium speed until the eggs are well incorporated and the batter becomes fluffy. Again, we're going to scrape the sides and the bottom and continue beating for a couple of minutes on medium speed. Add in your vanilla. And now we're going to start adding the dry ingredients. So I'm going to add half of the flour cocoa powder mixture. And I'm going to mix on low speed just until it's incorporated. And that means until you can't see the flour mixture anymore. Just like so. So just until the flour disappears. And add the other half. And mix on low speed until the flour disappears. That's it. Now the last step is to add your coffee. So what I'm going to do now is I'm using instant coffee. So to my hot water, I'm going to add the instant coffee. And just add that to the mixture. If you don't want to use instant coffee, you can go ahead and use brewed coffee. In this case, you wouldn't use the water. You would skip the water and you'd just use coffee instead of the water plus the instant coffee. Okay, so just add that in there and mix it for 1 minute, just until it's well incorporated. That's it. So now we're just going to scrape the sides and we're ready to pour it into the muffin tins. So now scoop the batter into the paper liner. Do not fill them all the way through. Just about 2/3 of the paper liner or even half, because these will puff up in the oven. And now I'm going to place them in the preheated oven and bake them for approximately 15 to 20 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. The cupcakes are done. They're springy to the touch and they smell heavenly. They just smell absolutely delicious. And I know they're done by inserting a toothpick in the center of one of them and it comes out clean and dry with no batter on it. So now we have to let them cool completely before you frost them. So now would be a good time to start doing the buttercream frosting. Before you start with your buttercream frosting, you're going to sift your powdered sugar. And that way you ensure that your buttercream frosting turns out to be creamy and smooth and not lumpy. And just like the sugar, I'm now going to sift my cocoa powder. You can do it directly on top of the sugar. And then whisk together the sugar and the cocoa powder. Just so that they're, well incorporated together. We're going to start by creaming the butter in a large bowl. It is very important that the butter is at room temperature and soft. Otherwise, your buttercream frosting will not be smooth and creamy. It will be lumpy and kind of hard to spread. So make sure that your butter is soft. And cream it for about 1 minute, and then we're going to start adding the sugar. Once you cream the butter, we're going to now add the sugar and the cocoa powder, about half a cup at a time. We don't want to do it all at once because we want the sugar to absorb the butter every time. Add more sugar and cocoa powder. So after you finish adding your sugar and cocoa powder, your mixture should look something like this. Of course, this looks nothing like buttercream, but don't worry, once we start adding the milk, it's going to come together. Before I add the milk, I'm just going to add the vanilla. And now I'm going to add the milk 1 tablespoon at a time. We do that because sometimes if you add too much milk, your cream will disintegrate and it will fall apart. It will become too liquidy. So we add just 1 tablespoon at a time until we get the right consistency. Still needs milk, so I'm going to add another tablespoon. Definitely needs more milk. So now it's starting to look good. Maybe 1 more tablespoon or even less just to get it. Actually, no, we don't need more than that. This is enough. This is the consistency of piping a cupcake, and that's what I need this frosting for today. So this is perfect. See? Now using a rubber spatula, just scrape the sides at the bottom just to make sure all the sugar is well incorporated. That looks beautiful. And now, last but not least, I'm going to frost my chocolate cupcakes. So I have here a disposable piping bag, and in it I have placed a star tip. I'm going to place it in a glass, a tall glass. Fold it like so, and this will allow me to add the buttercream easily into the piping bag. Now, a very important thing that I want to tell you is that you shouldn't fill the whole piping bag, because what happens is, and especially on hot summer days like today, what happens is while you are decorating your cupcakes, the heat from your hands or from your palms are going to heat the buttercream, and it's going to liquefy it. And it's going to basically become too runny. So add little batches of buttercream at a time, and that way you ensure that the consistency stays nice and thick. So I'm just going to do like stars like that, or maybe a rosette. I love rosettes. And here is our final product. It is very cute. It's a very, very nice cupcake. It's really, really spongy, like I can even feel it. And the chocolate frosting is really good as well. It goes really well with with this cupcake particularly. So now we're ready to eat our cupcakes. You want to taste it, Hamoud? Yeah. Okay. Mmm. Honestly, it is so good.
So delicious.
Really? You like it?
Yeah.
Mmm. Like I said, it's very rich in taste, but it's really, it's light. It's light and fluffy. It's absolutely delicious. And the buttercream frosting is delicious as well. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you make these cupcakes. They're like your basic chocolate cupcakes, but they're really good. Very, very good and chocolatey. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and to subscribe to my channel. Until next time, bye!